got that one. Alright, so I left off last time about when we entered Ganon's castle here. So you're just gonna backwalk and get through the first door. And the thing we're doing now is trials. We're done with medallions, done with stones. On to the trials. You should have full health coming in here. So the first place we're gonna go is Force Trial. Now usually I like to equip as I'm getting over to this door here. So this equip is, you're not usually gonna start on that screen. This equip is going to be, you don't need to take out the hammer here, but I like to because you pass the hammer anyway. So I put the hammer over bombs, and then I put fire arrows over my bow. And then go through here. And I'm gonna save state first. Alright. Now this first room, if you walk too far into the middle, this guy spawns, and you want to keep him from spawning. So don't go too far into the middle. Just come down like kind of halfway down the steps. And then you're just gonna shoot all these fires, or these torches. You don't have to be really fast about it, but they will go out if you're not fast enough. And then remember that there is one up top too. This can be really annoying on Virtual Console because aiming is really difficult on Virtual Console, like aiming smoothly. Apparently on emulator it's hard too. So that's pretty straightforward. And then just avoid this guy. You don't need to kill him. Alright, now in this room, you have to collect all these rupees in the air. Now something to know about hover boots. When you have hover boots on, when you change direction, yeah, I can't aim. When you change direction, you will reverse your direction much faster by going in a small circle than by just turning around. So what I mean by that is if I'm running off this edge and just turn around, you see how I take a long time to turn around and I can't actually make it back. Whereas if I go in a small circle, you can make it back much easier. You can change direction much faster that way. So the first thing you're going to do is run off this side edge to get this rupee, and you want to, well, okay, normally that's not going to be blown at you. When you do that, you want to curve yourself around really quick. Because if you just try turning straight around, you're going to fall. And that's also helpful in other places of the trials also, like the fire trial. Alright, so hover boots in this room. You want to go in kind of a small little circle like that so you don't fall. And then this fan should turn on and kind of push you to this edge a little bit. Now I like to go on the back side of this BMOS here so that he doesn't see you. You can have bombs equipped and drop a bomb here, but that requires that you do an extra equip later. Well, not really, but you can do it with the same number of equips, but it's kind of dangerous because you can, if this guy blows up immediately and you're already hover booting in the air, if you get damage when you're in the air, like you go flying, you know, like Link like goes horizontal and flies through the air and falls and you're dead and you void at that point. So if the thing blows up and you run off the edge as it's blowing up, then you end up voiding and you have to start the room over again. And that happens to me all the time when I would try to void, or when I try to do this room, when I try to kill him. So I just don't kill him and instead go on the back side of him. And then you want to land on this guy, and you want to turn around here. I don't know why I paused. And you want to... Alright, so I wasn't quick enough because I was trying to explain as I went. If he starts shooting at you, you have to get on like the back side of this platform and wait for him to keep going, and then go. But if you're fast, you can make it up to this hook shot before he even starts firing at you. So to demonstrate that... Oh, I don't have my hover boots on. I thought I did in the safe state. Alright, go on the back side of him and drop right on the edge of that button. Damn. I'm used to VC aiming, where you aim much faster. So if you can get up there before he shoots at you, then you can be faster in this room. If not, just shield him. and then the rest is pretty straightforward. Just make sure that you get to this platform before this fan turns back on all the way, because otherwise it'll blow you back off. So I'm going to try that one more time, just because it's not really hard. I'm just not used to emulator aiming. Emulator dead zones, I should say. Oh shit, I was not paying attention. Oh my god, dude. I was looking at my camera. Alright. So this is a bad example now. Because he's going to look at me like immediately. Yeah, see, I could have got it if I had been able to aim perfectly, but... And then just mash A, of course, to drop off that ledge there. This is too hard for me on emulator, but... This might be a good example of what you don't want to happen. Yeah, see, that'll fuck you if you're too slow. Wow. This trial's too hard for me on emulator. See how he started firing at me there but didn't quite start firing at me? That's kind of what'll happen, except it was like a cycle too late. So you can be a cycle faster than that. Okay, so when you come through this final door here, you want to pause, unequip the hover boots, and then equip light arrows over your fire arrows. Now, there's always two pots in the end here, and it's useful, I think, to remember which one the magic, or which side the magic is in. So for the forest trial, the magic is on the left side, because you use magic to shoot light arrows and fire arrows. So you can grab that magic if you need it. Now, since we already equipped the Megaton Hammer, we don't need to do an equip for water trial. However, if you need bombs at this point, I've never forest crashed ever. I think it's a myth. If you need bombs at this point, normally we would go to the water trial over there. If you need bombs, you can run off of this side and go underneath there and get bombs from the scrubs. But we don't need bombs, so we're just going to go to the water trial. Alright. So when you get in here, you want to immediately run over to this red ice in this corner and jump slash. And you want to walk kind of a little far out. Now these guys are going to chase you, and you're going to do this clip right here. Ooh, and I was actually... Alright. Again, I was going kind of slow because I was trying to explain, so let me try to just demonstrate and then I'll explain what I'm doing. So you want to stand kind of off to the side here. And as they come over, just go around them, and then walk into them and shoot the hook shot. And that'll clip you. Wow, dude. Fucking emulators are hard. If you don't kill them immediately, if you stand like right on the edge, then you'll cause them to respawn. And you can kill them. What you should be able to do, apparently I can't do anything right now, what you should be able to do is kill them immediately. So the way that you clip is just to be holding target, pull the hook shot out, and then just walk straight sideways into them. And I ran around them too fast there, so they shot me. The reason that you go around them kind of slow is so that they don't turn all the way around. You can also just side hop through them, but I find this to be much more consistent. So don't like side hop there, and they'll start shooting away from you. So just kind of spam hookshot a little bit. And apparently I can't use the trigger buttons correctly today, but if you can't get them immediately, just stand over here and wait for them to come back, and they're done. So this is really the only tricky thing in the water trial. The rest is very simple. You also want to make sure that you're not like too far over to the right here, but I usually like put his left foot kind of on the little corner. Alright, so usually that's how it should look. Alright, now this room, you want to grab this block and push it, and then you want to line up so you're kind of in the middle of this block on this side, and then climb up. Shit, A to climb up. What's up, Thor? What's up, Astartes? And then I like to line up the B button so that it's about that distance away from the edge. It's not real specific, but kind of about that distance from the edge. And what I mean from this blue line right here, I like the B button to be kind of like that distance-ish. Again, it's not super specific. But all you're gonna do is hit A to leave C up, and then run forward and roll. Now see how the camera glitched to the side here? Be careful because it can do that depending on where you end up grabbing the edge. And you don't want to run off the edge by accident if you're holding a direction too fast. So now just get in this corner over here, target the ice, and jump slash with the hammer, and you'll hit the button right through the red ice. And then the movement here, I usually just target this wall, side hop off, and then make my way over. Alright, after water trial, the magic is on the right side. So you can grab that if you need it, and then shoot this guy. Water trial is probably the simplest. Once you can do that clip, it's like there's nothing to really mess up too much. And the clip is pretty retryable, you just have to wait for the guys to come after you. Alright, shadow trial. Alright, so you don't want to equip before you go in here. You want to equip directly after you go in here. Usually as I come in, I kind of hold upright, so I hold, oh my god, upright. So Link gets kind of that angle-ish before I pause. And then you want to equip hover boots. I like to equip hover boots first so that my menu's in a better position. Equip hover boots, equip fire arrows. Now, pull out your arrows. Now you're immediately aimed at the correct height, so all you need to do is line up. Now if you get the right angle coming through the door, sometimes you're perfectly lined up to begin with, and that's really good, but sometimes you need to adjust a little bit. So shoot that torch, and then run across here. This green guy doesn't really hardly ever get you, so you can pretty much just run right through him. There's magic in this pot. Oh, I didn't get it. Now careful, because this platform I'm standing on right here is a little bit lower than the either two platforms on either side. And what that means is that if you walk over it, your hover boots won't actually replenish. Like, they won't stop hovering you. They'll hover you like an inch over that platform. So if you walk too far and walk right over the platform with hover boots, then you'll just fall off the other side. So I like to kind of hang out on that platform for 1 sec. You can make this jump without that platform being there. Careful of the lake. So you can also just do that if you want to. No big deal. Now from here, you need to step on that switch that's down there. So you shoot the torch. You see the torch way over there. It's kind of small. It's kind of far away. But shoot that torch. Nice shot. I always miss it like at least once. Now there's an invisible platform here that extends out like right here. So you can walk along that invisible platform so that you can land on the switch with like 1 hover boot usage. So see how you walk along it like that and land right on the switch. And then come back here, hookshot the chest. And these are your golden gauntlets. Alright, now you gotta hit that switch with the hammer. So there's a couple ways you can do this. The fastest way to do it is to run across, and then hammer jump slash right at the end of your hover boots. However, if you don't get enough distance when you do that, what can happen is that you don't make it on the platform and you just jump slash down to your death and you void. That's unfortunate when that happens. But you can also just get over there. Sometimes you can make it without grabbing the edge at all. That's good. That means you could have just jump slashed. But like sometimes if you try to do it, you'll like do that and you'll hit the switch but you'll void. So that sucks if that happens. But yeah. So it doesn't really matter. But that's the faster way to do it. Now you want full health coming out of this section. Now there's no hearts in the pots at the end of Shadow Temple. So if you need a heart, get this one right here. Right under my B button. And you can actually run directly at it and you'll land on a platform. So if I run straight here, there's a platform with that heart, and then you turn and wow, I missed somehow. Good job. Like that. There's also an invisible platform over there somewhere. You can kind of hit it if you... Okay, yeah, if you do that. If you don't need the heart, you can... I usually aim like... I don't really have a good cue for this. I kind of aim like so my B button is halfway between the door and that heart, and it like pops you up higher, like that. And then you can get straight up to the top without grabbing the edge. It's something that you just kind of feel, I guess. See how there's like a ramp right there? But you can just run straight up like that. So if you just like have a save state and you play with it a little bit, then it's not too hard to figure out. Like a good direction to go. But see, like, there you go. You can kind of BS it and it still works. So coming through this end. Oh, and also, usually I do the equip right here because you don't need the hover. Oh no, I'm sorry, Tom. But I do the equip here anyway, just because it's easier to do it out here than it is to do it inside, in case you don't need to get the pots. In this case, I do want to get the pot because I missed the magic earlier. But this equip is going to be bombs and it's going to be light arrows. So, light arrows, bombs. Keep your hover boots on. Magic is again on the right side. And now, the fire trial. This is the hardest one to learn, probably, is the fire trial. And if you got a fairy earlier, I did in this example, this is probably where you're going to be using the fairy. Alright, so we're going to have a timer in this next room. And the timer is based on our health again, like all timers. So we should have 48 seconds if we have full health in this room. So here we go. First you want to go get this rupee on this side. And again, if you just turn straight around, you see how you're going to have to wait and grab this edge? That's really slow. You don't want to do that. Instead you want to be able to curve your path a little bit, like that. And then you can make it back. Now you'll notice that when I'm running backwards here, I'm running so that my camera does not spin behind Link. So you want to be running kind of at the camera-ish. The reason for that is because this spinning fire thing is unloaded when you're way over here getting this rupee. You see how you can't hear it over here? And you can't hear it until I run about halfway back. If I were to keep looking at it that whole time, it wouldn't unload. And you want to unload it, because otherwise it'll spin too far, and then you won't be able to get up as easily. So you want to kind of unload that, and it'll make it easier to grab that edge. Now there's a couple ways you can get up there quickly, depending on where the fire thing... Wow, I bonked. Good job. So in this situation, what I'm going to do... I was still too slow because I grabbed the edge. Alright, I'm just going to try to explain how to get on this thing quickly. One way you can do it is by fake gainering up there. And all you do is, as you come out of a roll, do a backflip. And if you have the hover boots on, you'll continue moving forward with that backflip. The other thing that you can do if the fire is too close to do a backflip is just grab the edge. Oh my god, I was too slow. If you're hanging from the edge and you're like starting to climb the edge as the fire hits you, then it'll actually just pop you right up on the edge. So if you're, oh, it's gonna hit me again. Goddamn. I need to like time this just right. It's hard to do if you're just like actually trying to do it instead of it being useful. So see how that was a bad example because the fire I was kind of at the top of my grab anyway. You can kind of see how it happens. The fire, when you get hit by the fire, you're just boom, immediately on top of the ledge. So if the fire's like about to hit you, then just grabbing the edge is faster. Now what you don't want to do is roll through those flames, and that's why they hit you like over and over and over, and they end up pushing you way off to the side. If you just run through them, it only hits you once. So when you're on this platform, don't roll through those flames. Alright, moving on. So here's everything so far. Alright, now I run off to this platform, and then, wow, too far, and then regain her up onto that ledge. I apparently can't play this game at all right now, but hopefully you understand anyway. Alright, like that. And then grab this pillar. And you need the golden gauntlets to grab that thing, so this is why we do the shadow first. Same deal, just swing around. There's a heart down here, you can get it if you want to. And then you're gonna gain her up onto this last little platform. Now slash this guy, you don't need to kill him, but slash him, and then do not get that other rupee over there. Alright, run across the pillar you just threw. Once I'm like falling here, grabbing this rupee, I unequip the hover boots. You don't need them anymore. Turn around. And you want to grab this rupee last, and the reason is because see how it orients Link directly at this corner? We need to super slide from the platform we're on now to the platform by the door. And getting this rupee orients us perfectly to do that. So this is why we want to get it last. It's not hard to line up, but it just does it for us if we do it now. So it's faster to just do it this way. So since I retried this a couple times, I have less health than normal. But we did get a fairy earlier, so if you have really low time right here, you can always just wait in this place for the fire to kill you, and then you'll respawn to the fairy. Alright, so now we're just going to do a regular old super slide. Now this works just like the super slide across the mirror to the mirror shield chest after spirit hover. You're gonna equip the hover boots in the super slide, and then at the end, towards the end of the hover, you're going to mash B to do a jump slash, like that, and you'll make it over here. There's a faster way to do one part of this. I don't usually do this because I'm not very consistent at it, and I honestly haven't like practiced it very much. But what you can do, see, I'm just gonna grab the, oh shit dude, I was still too slow. If you're really close you can grab the edge, but I'm like being really slow right now. So see how the fire, you can't hear it? That's good. Alright, now this is like extra slow, so I'm just gonna wait and be a little bit extra slow there. No, don't do that. Alright, you can make that jump if you're fast. And if you come at it with a very straight angle. If you can't do it at a very straight angle and you don't like roll at the right time, then you won't make it far enough. And then you void out. Falling in the lava voids you here. So you have to start over if you miss that. And that sucks if that happens. You can kill that guy if you want to, but You don't really need to. He can't damage you once his fire's out, so. Oops. So, one thing to know here, if you have very low time in this room, and you do not have a fairy, it's better to jump in the lava and void than wait to die. And the reason for that is because if you jump in the lava and void, then that's a void, right? That's not a death, that's a void. So it takes one heart away and puts you back at the beginning of the room. If you wait for the timer to run out, though, then you die. And that means that your health goes down to 3 hearts, you restart at the beginning of Ganon's castle, and you have to go all the way back and replenish your health. So that's definitely worse than voiding. So if I had like very little time left right here, like, oh no, I waited all this extra time and like I wasted time somewhere, and now I can't make it and pretend I don't have a fairy, it's better to void here. And then just, you restart here, and if you need to get more health, you can go get more health. If you don't need more health, then just retry, obviously. What's up, Thresh? What's up, Vink Galaxy? Now the place to get more health is the same place to get more bombs. You can just run back under this bridge. And there's fairies in here. And this guy sells you bombs for 40 rupees, I think. So you can go replenish health and bombs down there if you're like failing the super slides and then you lose time and all that stuff. Otherwise, just do this trial as normal. So, last time through. Again, make sure you curve yourself there. Wow, I keep doing that. What's up, Plaid? Tutorial is going well, except for the fact that I like can't play Zelda today. Gainer 1. I go the safe way here. Dude, the silly trial is kicking my ass today. Oh, see, I was going at a bad direction there, so I just grabbed the edge instead of gainering up, because I wouldn't have gone in the right direction. I did kind of the same thing right there, so I made the same choice. I have a lot less time than I normally would here, but that's okay. Grab that guy, and grab this heart if you want to. It's kind of in your way, so I tend to end up grabbing it a lot, but you don't need it for anything. Alright, don't get that rupee, but slash the guy. Yeah, fella, that's really the problem. Alright, so I'm just gonna wait for my fairy to respawn me now. Yeah, these will be on YouTube, hopefully. They'll definitely be highlighted, and most likely be on YouTube. Alright. Same thing here, just whoops. Pause after you got the super slide, equip the hover boots, and then do that same jump slash as you would, like for the mirror shield chest. Magic is on the right side here. I think a heart's on the other side, but you don't need hearts anymore. What's up, Jeffrey? My YouTube channel is the same as my Twitch, but I have nothing on it right now. I don't have any videos or anything uploaded. I just use it to like watch stuff and comment on people's things. Alright, now we're gonna equip. We can also equip inside when we're shooting the thing, but I usually equip out here just because I'm in the habit of doing it. So for this equip, we want to take off the hover boots. We're done with them. I put the ocarina over bombs, and is that it for this equip? Yeah. Yeah, hover boots, ocarina. Don't need the fire arrows for this trial. Again, you need the golden gauntlets to move this block. Alright. So light trial is like a more technical trial. It's not hard to get through like fire trial, but it's more technical than some of the other ones, to be quick. So the first room, there's invisible enemies. There's a Skulltula in the middle, there's a Keese over there, a Keese right here, and a Keese over there. Alright, so the way that I like to kill them is come in, slash this guy, third person hookshot, third person hookshot, third person hookshot, and then there's a chest that spawns right here in the middle, so you want to be in front of it and not on top of it. That's what I find to be the most consistent way of doing that fast. Slash the first guy and then hookshot the other three. Alright, now through this room. Alright, Ocarina. ZL is difficult. Alright, now after you're done playing ZL right here, hold down left, and I also target there. It might have been too late. But you see how after you play ZL and the chest spawns, there's like a few frames where you can move? Use those frames to get close to the chest. You can, if you don't want to move, you can instead just orient link so you're looking at the chest. But you can use those like frames to kind of, you can even roll if you want to and get like really close to the chest. So you can save some time doing that. Alright, this room is the most difficult one I think to do perfectly. So you want to roll to the side and get that rupee, and you can stay in front of that boulder that just killed me the entire time. It's difficult though, because when you're in the side here, you see how it moves the camera on its own? Whoops. Like even if the camera's this way, it pops it out to the side. So since your direction is all like relative to the camera, that's really annoying. And the same thing, so even after you target, it moves it back out. Same thing in these middle spots. It pops the camera out to the side here. So no matter what you do, it stays out to the side. What's up, Zelda Rock? So when you're walking around here, all of a sudden, like, Link's direction is changed because the camera direction is changed. So it's like really tricky to do that. The oldest viewer is TK. Or no, oldest viewer is I'm a Radio X. So you can wait for that rock to go by if you want to, and then just follow it, and that's pretty safe. But you can stay ahead of it the whole time if you're fast. And then of course hookshot the ceiling. Get that final rupee. And then through the door. When you're falling there, don't hold forward. Oops, there's a floor master in here, so be careful. I didn't even know that. That sounds like vaguely familiar, but I wouldn't have even been able to tell you that. Wow, he gives you a shitload of money. Hey TK, that TK raid. What's up, man? 3-second PB and 100%. That's legit. That's so legit. Good job. So yeah, if you like jump right into the door and hold forward the whole time, you'll actually end up bonking on the door. And then if there's a boulder rolling close to you, whoops, the camera didn't get me. If there's a boulder rolling close to you, it'll knock you down, and that wastes time. So see, oh no, I'm sorry, you don't bonk, but you roll when you hit the ground, and you can't go through the door until you're done rolling. So you want to be fast about that. Now for this trial, I usually just, as soon as I get through this door, third person aim, hit the thing. The pots are like really far ahead of you, so it's pretty slow to go get the pots, and you don't need them anymore at this point. You don't need more magic, unless you're like actually super low because you missed the light arrow 3 times or something. Welcome everybody from TK Stream. Thanks for hosting TK and raiding. Oh yeah, I'm using save states, and I have load and save state mapped to the D-pad, so I can like load a state or save a state right there, and then if I want to go back, I can go back to it. It's just easier than using my computer. Alright, so final trial, spirit trial. Now we did half of this trial as a kid, so this room, you just run straight through to the end. Roll so that your invincibility frames like get you through that little spike guy. Same thing in here. If you use the chew to begin with and to hit this switch, you that door should just be open. Now, I usually, as I like go past this torch, you want to equip fire arrows, and that's all that I equip right there. And then third person aim and shoot that web. And as you're waiting for the light to come down, you want to aim at that sun. So as you come through this direction, it's this sun over here that you want to hit. And it takes, even though the light like shines pretty immediately, it takes a while for the light to actually be activated. And so you can like crouch down and get this direction before the light actually spawns, and then you can be like as fast as possible by already aiming at the sun. And any of the other suns will just like make a little error noise and go away. And I guess floor masters spawn if you hit those guys. So yeah, this is, whoops, I thought I had a closer one. Alright, Thrash, thanks for stopping by. So this trial is very easy. Going through that door is probably the hardest part for me. Wow. Hello, what the hell? You definitely want a third person aim to get that web, because if you don't third person aim, you see how slow it is to look like all the way up, especially if you're like really close underneath it. Third person is like much faster to shoot that fire arrow. So then as you're going through this last door, you're going to do the final equip. Your cursor will be on fire arrows at this point, so just go straight down, and that gives you light arrows. You want to equip Megaton Hammer, and I usually put it on that side just because I like to power crouch stab on that side. So I switch it with the bow there. Or no. Wait a minute, I totally did that backwards. What did my equipsters look like? Alright, these are your equips. I go down like this. I put... No, yeah, okay, I do it twice. Wow, my muscle memory is so, like, out of touch with my mind. I put the Megaton Hammer on Z, or on, C down, and then switch with the hammer. And then I go up and put bombs on C right. Yeah, that's definitely what my muscle memory is. It took me a minute to figure out what my muscle memory did. Because I like to power crouch stab with this button in particular. Not with, like, this button, because it'd be weird holding both of these down. And I like my bombs to be on C right. Is that my leg on controller cam? Yes, that's my leg. So this is your final equip. You don't need to do any more equips after this. Through the last door. And then magic is on the left side again in this trial, if you need it. Let me go through there. You need to shoot one more light arrow after this final light trial, or spirit trial. So if you have enough magic to shoot one more light arrow, then you should be fine. If you're worried about not one-cycling Ganondorf, though, then you might want to get it. Yeah, I might do some runs after Thrash. Thanks for following Vink Galaxy, Sonic Paw, and Bloodfilled. I appreciate it. Alright, so that's it for the trials. Hooray. Now I run through, and I like to split as I hit this loading zone right here. Alright, now don't target too much in this room because there's keys everywhere. So just like roll around without moving your camera and go through this door. Alright, Lizalfos. Immediately just hold B to charge up like a really big spin. And wait until they're all close to you. And that didn't hit them very much. You should be able to hit them like a couple times each. See, I missed that guy a bunch of times, but then I just quick spin the shit out of him. Usually it's pretty effective, but it's kind of a random room, depending on how close those guys come to you. Alright, see you later, Thrash. Hopefully I'll still be on later when you get back. But yeah, those guys can kind of troll you by staying away from you. But it helps to kind of run out in the middle a little bit too. But you do want to have them both kind of on top of you. See, that was a much better room. You want them to be like far enough away that you can charge up a full spin before letting it go, because otherwise you can't hit them as much. So whatever. It could kind of be a trolley room. This room is just Stalfos. We fought them a bunch before. He didn't jump at me. But he got me, wow. You're being so non-aggressive. Wow. This is like the strangest Stalfos fight. They're staying so far away from me. Alright, whatever. Strange. Stalfos fights never go well. It can be helpful in that fight to maintain health higher than 4 hearts. Right now I have exactly 4 hearts, so that's below the like 1 hit point for the Iron Knuckles in the next room. If you have more than 4 hearts, you can mess up this next room once and still live through it. Oops. No, you do not, HX. Alright, so this is double Knuckles. Make sure you have a jump slash stored. And the easy way to do this room is to treat these guys like any other Iron Knuckle, and just like get up next to one and take them out one at a time like this. Wow. You actually need to move faster than that and get up close to him. Right, just like any other Iron Knuckle, and then repeat for the second guy. Very straightforward. But there's a faster way to do it, and that is to, again, make sure you have jump slash damage stored. Get through, and you kind of want to have a straight angle when you do this. I kind of messed it up, so I'm just going to target the door. Alright, and now target, like, crouch down, and you're going to crouch stab them. But now keep in mind, the hitbox for your power crouch stab is, like, on Link's left side, right? It doesn't extend as far to the right side of him, so you're going to want to kind of look this way when you crouch stab. I'm in kind of an okay place right here. This is kind of a better place. If you're too close, you won't hit them both. Right, so run through them. 1, 2 hits, roll forward, and turn around. 4 more hits takes their armor off. And careful about that happening. What happened right there was I let them get too far away from each other. Alright, I hit the black guy an extra time here. It's okay because I managed to hit them both anyway, but sometimes you can get this happen. It's not the end of the world, it's like a tiny bit slower, but you just want to be careful of something like that happening. If you do it perfectly, they'll actually like die at exactly the same time and take identical health. Oops, see, not like that. If they get desynced again, it's pretty easy to just like do this one, this one, this one, this one, you know, alternate between them. Oh, I got him by accident. Get wrecked, me. Oop, I did it again. Alright, if that does happen though, I mean, just treat them like any other Iron Knuckles. If they both start coming after you, you can kind of run forward and like do damage to one, and then once he can run fast, he separates himself from the other guy pretty easily, and then just treat the last guy like a regular Iron Knuckle. Wow, he got me, and then the first guy's hearts spawned on top of me and like healed me as I died. That was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I already have a quote about hitting the black guy, or like being too far away to hit the black guy or something, pertaining to these Iron Knuckles. See how when they run towards me, they kind of like converge? If you're too close to them, then they won't converge enough, and you can't hit them both at the same time. So you notice on that time I did it, I kind of moved back a little bit and then turned back around. That was so that they could converge a little more. You don't need to get those hearts at all. At this point, you don't need hearts. Ganondorf replenishes your hearts when you start fighting him. So now, on to the final part of Ganon's castle before the collapse skip. If you have like no magic at this point, Ganondorf replenishes your hearts, but not your magic. If you have no magic, you might want to farm for some down here. Alright, so this was the arrows and hearts side. Alright, so this is the arrows and magic and hearts side. So, if you don't have any magic, then you do need to farm for it. Yeah, see, there's my other quote. You can do a Hess up this if you want to. There's only one more place where you need bombs. You don't need to do a super slide at the end, but you do need bombs to do a skip for the tower collapse. This is going on YouTube, yes, hopefully. Yeah, definitely being highlighted, most likely on YouTube. Alright, so here's how this is going to work. Run away. Now, and take your sword out. The way that we're going to attack him, as soon as he starts attacking like that, run back in the middle and then do an overhead slash with your sword. And that's going to deflect his shot right at him. Occasionally, you'll miss him if you're not like aimed at him correctly. Like, see how I kind of angled myself to aim myself at him? That's important. If you're like aiming too far away, he won't do it. Ooh, I waited too long that time. Alright, careful. Careful about being in the middle when he's not firing at you, because he'll like overhead slam you. Alright, so what you want to do is do that overhead slash and then immediately do a jump slash right after. The reason you do that is because you're going to get ISG to kill him, and you want jump slash damage to be stored in your power crouch stab for that. So that means you take fewer hits to kill him, and that's faster. So overhead slash and then immediately do a jump slash. He'll be stunned. Shoot him with a light arrow. Now get ISG. Once he falls on the ground, the ISG timing is lag ISG timing. So you know how in the spirit trial room, way back in the beginning of the run, when you're doing the hover over the Beamos to get bomb chews in the spirit trial, the ISG in that room is like a really slow laggy timing. Once he hits the ground, it's that same slow laggy timing. So be wary of that, because if you just try to spam ISG like normal, you'll miss over and over and over, and then you have to 2-cycle or 3-cycle him. But I just got ISG. So you want to just make sure your sword stays in contact with him. Occasionally what will happen here, okay, you see how Link just did that little animation where he kind of like shook his sword around or shook his shield around and kind of like moved his feet a little bit? Sometimes he'll do an animation where he swings the sword up off to the side, and if he does that, then the sword is no longer touching Ganondorf and you mess up one-cycling him. So what I like to do is to kind of just like nudge Link over and over towards Ganondorf, like almost just ESS position, and just so he kind of like stays out of this animation timer. Right. So to put that all together, I don't know what the hell just happened. He did a short hop instead of a regular hop. That was interesting. Oh, see, I was too slow there. Alright, Alright, so jump slash. You can hit him. See how it looked like he was coming out of that being stunned animation? Damn. See, I messed up that ISG. It looked like he was not going to be stunned by that light arrow, but he still was. He can get stunned like really late by the light arrows. Oop, I messed up the jump slash. So I'm going to do it after instead. Wow, okay, there it is. Oh, but that was too late. Wow. Oh, he's doing this. If this happens, just... And then... Alright, see, I want to do that late on purpose, so you can see how late you can hit him with that light arrow. Yeah, you can also take out your bow and walk into him. You can do that with like a bunch of objects, actually, I think. Like, you could probably do that with other things, since the bow is out. That works just as well. So if you target him with your bow while you're like hitting him with ISG, same thing, you remove the animation. Either way it works. It doesn't really matter. Oh really, TK? I didn't even know that. Apparently if he's doing his big charge, you can just hit him with light arrows. Cool. That never happens to me in runs though. It only happened this time because I messed up so many times. Because I kept missing ISG. But that's Ganondorf. That's pretty much it. If he knocks you down, just climb back up. I guess one thing that I should talk about, one more thing with Ganondorf that I'm going to show. Alright, let's say that he knocks you down, right? And you end up having to climb this thing. If you get up kind of in the middle, he's gonna... Wow, my camera bugged out. He shoots you immediately. So don't worry about, like, having to time... I can't get this ISG, dude. There it is. Don't worry about trying to, like, get away from him or anything. He's just immediately gonna fire at you. So if you get knocked down there, it's not the end of the world. You can still hit him pretty easily. I didn't jump slash, so this is going to take extra long, but it's fine. What's up, Jimbo? I feel like I should move this to be a little bit more this way. Alright, so to do the tower collapse skip initial position, what you're going to do is hold left ESS as you're coming out of the animation with Zelda running away from you, so that you look all the way over. That's going to look like this. Now, you want to take 3 small little steps forward, so the way to do that is to cancel a horizontal slash with a shield. So, the rock fell right around top of me. So, take your sword out and slash hit, so hit B and then hit shield. And you see how he takes like a little step forward? You want to do 3 of those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side hops. On the final side hop, you're going to pull a bomb out in the air. And then just let Link fall off the edge. He'll grab it and drop the bomb right there. Alright, and so that's the RNG portion of this trick. These rocks are just random, and a lot of times they get right in your way. In that situation, the rock hit me before the bomb did and launched me in the wrong direction. That sucks. The non-initial position, non-initial setup, You want to target this little fence thing here. Get all the way in this corner. Do 1, 2 side hops this way. 1, 2 side hops back. Backflip. Just hit A to side roll. Backflip. Hit A to side roll. Hit A. Hit A. And then side hop and take the bomb out. And get screwed by RNG. The RNG here is... sometimes it doesn't bother you, sometimes it screws you. The lag is also annoying. See, the lag messed me up there because it caused me to take a small step over. A good thing to remember here is that you can do setups in like any combination you want. So if a rock was falling really close to me right now, what I would do is, oh shit, I'd side hop away, and then I would do like the 1, 2, 3, and then continue doing the side hops. You know what I mean? You don't need to do the 3 things first, and then you don't need to do the 3 like steps first and then do all the side hops. You can do that in any different combination you want. So, you know, adjust the combination of ways you do that based on where the rocks are falling so that you avoid them. Yeah, RNG really messes you up in a lot of different ways. So now, as the bomb hits you off this edge, what you want to do is hold slightly right of down right. So not quite right, but like just slightly this way. Like you can barely even see my thumb move. But you want to hold ever so slightly right of down right. So here's... Alright, so you see how Link just changed direction there? You only have like the frame after you get control of Link to do that. So that's why you want to be holding it ahead of time. Once you are, that's good. Now, you want to jump slash, and that's going to put you in the right place, but I wait a second to jump slash, because if you jump slash too fast, you'll gain a lot of horizontal distance. And you'll only land it if you have like a really precise angle. If you wait like a second before doing that jump slash, then you can have a wider angle on your control stick and still make it. Because you don't gain as much horizontal distance either way. So we wait like half a second and then jump slash. And then you kind of hold forward-ish. See, I hit that loading zone there because I actually held too far. And that happens. In that situation, I silly lag, dude. Put my sword away. Alright. I'm gonna wait for this rock to fall. Yeah, see, it would have got me if I'd gone forward. And then hopefully go before that rock hits me. Alright, so barely right. Alright, and that's actually too far again. I'm gonna hit the loading zone again. Wow. Oh, you know what, dude? It's different on emulator. Sorry. The diagonals are mapped different on emulator than they are on Virtual Console. So I need to hold a little bit farther, I think. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, so on emulator, you want to hold slightly farther, like right of down right. Yeah, on emulator, it's weird. Virtual Console, it's like, you hold closer to down right. On emulator, you hold a little bit farther up on the control stick. So you should end up landing out of bounds here. And then once you do... Alright, this is the stairway that like wraps around the edge of this room. So it like comes all the way up like this. And then like wraps around the edge this way. So like I just look at this room and like side hop around it. And then the loading zone is at the bottom there. Once you're here, you can just get through to the end. You can do a cool super slide there if you want to. If you have the bombs too. No kiss. And that's that. It's very easy to do. It's just the RNG can mess you up a lot. The redid won't catch you as long as you just roll straight through him. As long as you just, like, yeah, continue rolling, he doesn't really get you ever. Alright, so we have the hammer here, so we can do crouch stabs with the hammer. So we don't need to make sure we hold on to the Master Sword here. Super sliding into this cutscene makes sure that you don't lose the Master Sword in the animation. But we don't need the Master Sword because we can crouch stab with the hammer. Now, of course, to crouch stab with the hammer and do Master Sword damage, you need to jump slash with the Master Sword to begin with. So, run forward here, jump slash with the Master Sword into the cutscene. Make sure you don't do it backwards and jump slash with the hammer into the cutscene. Don't do that. Jump slash with the Master Sword. No, nothing's highlighted yet. I'm gonna highlight it all at once. Alright, so what I do is I just roll between his legs and then crouch stab. You can also get ISG with the hammer if you want to. And there's some benefits to that and there's some drawbacks to that. It's easier to hit him with ISG, but it's harder to control Link, I would say. And if you can tell where his tail is and then hit it with crouch stabs, it can be just as fast with crouch stabs. So I'd like to just use crouch stabs because that gives me more control over Link, and that makes me less likely to die to Ganon. So 3 hits for phase 1, and then 5 hits for phase 2. Now Ganon is more aggressive on phase 2. So jump slash into his head or his tail, whichever's closer, and then I do this pretty much the same thing. See, he turns around much faster in phase 2. And he like attacks you faster. So that's with crouch stabs. With ISG, it works kind of the same way things work in any percent. Whoa, nice emulator lag. Alright. So you see how you like end up kind of bouncing off of him all over the place? Wow, I hit him. And it's like, for me, I find it really difficult to like control Link accurately. It can give you some protection against his swipes though. Something to understand with ISG. Alright. Alright, so you see how the first slash didn't kill me, but the second one did? The first slash hit my ISG before it hit me, so it was okay, because it just kept hitting my ISG. The first one was the second one was a vertical slash, and that hit me first, instead of my ISG. So, having ISG can save you in certain situations. Yeah, he starts shaking his head if you try to just, like, sit there with ISG. Like, see, he's just like, no. You see how Link kind of holds the hammer up. That makes it easier to hit him with ISG. But I find it, like, I just find that I die more with ISG than I do with crouch stabs, so I just got in the habit of learning to use crouch stabs well. But either one does work. So you see how I like got caught in his leg there? I did it again. Another thing you can do, and you can't do this first phase, because you can only do crouch stabs in the first phase, because you have to use the hammer. But on the second phase, once you can jump slash with the sword, what you can do is jump slash his tail after targeting it, and that means that you can like always hit him, and you can do it pretty quickly. But it is a little bit, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's harder really. I don't know if it's slower either, but it's. No, I didn't target his tail there. Wow, for some reason I'm having a really hard time targeting his tail. Okay, yeah, see, I've seen people do this, I've never actually tried it, so that's my expertise for you. Come on. I've seen people do this really quickly, but it seems to me like it's a little bit more tricky to pull off well. So it's something you can experiment with, but it's nice. It's also like there's easier ways to do it, and I don't think it's really any faster than just being precise with crouch stabs or using ISG well. See, like what just happened there? I don't know why it untargeted me from his tail. Targeting his tail is like difficult, apparently. Sometimes you target like immediately, and sometimes you don't. And that means that like if you retry and you didn't need to, you untarget him. I don't know. I don't like it. Whoops! Wow! I can't believe that didn't kill me. But, so it's something you can experiment with if the situation calls for it, but not something I would necessarily recommend. My favorite way is just, his tail's down at the beginning, so you can immediately crouch stab that first time, and then consecutive crouch stabs are like, pretty, wow, I was in a bad spot that time, I actually missed completely. But consecutive crouch stabs are usually pretty easy to kill him, as long as you're kind of a little bit behind his legs. You can usually get him if you like ankle them up. See, in this situation his tail's closer, so. So I was like at a bad angle those last couple times, so I kind of shield turned my way towards them. Again, it's not really that difficult. And if you didn't use your fairy earlier, or if you have more than 4 hearts here, you can actually get hit by him once. He does 4 hearts per hit, the same way the Iron Knuckles do. So if you have more health than that, then you're all set to get hit by him once. And then the final hit, just kind of hold down rightish, or down leftish, and hit B. And the timing stops when you hit B. The cutscene for Link, like the final cutscene happening, happens like half a second after you hit B. So make sure you hit spacebar when you actually hit B, and not when you see the cutscene happen. It's very easy. I don't know any other languages besides English. Oh, well, not fluently. So yeah, that would be MST. That's about it. I'm probably gonna end up doing maybe more detailed tutorials on specific parts of it if people want me to. So if that's something that people would like to have, or if there's like a section that people are still confused about, I could also do that. But for the main tutorial, that's it. I have a whole bunch of notes that I wrote up about just little subtle things that I noticed when I was learning this category. Um, I would recommend looking through those if that's something that you would find helpful. I have those in my um, in my channel description. I'll have those somewhere. And right now they're in my title if you're watching the stream currently, but if not, if you're watching like the highlighted version of this or on YouTube, it'll either be in the description of the YouTube video or it'll be somewhere in my channel description on Twitch. So I would recommend looking through those if there's anything that you are a little confused about, or if you want some extra input on it. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Not sure what else. Not sure what else I should say or talk about. A little bit about times for this category. Oh, so let's look at my splits really quick, and this can help give us an idea about goals for different splits and like when to have different splits and that kind of thing. Waiting for live split to load. Alright, so my splits are actually, unfortunately, I need to plug in a mouse to scroll these, but my splits are when you escape, and I have silly names for them, but I split on hitting the loading zone after you escape the forest in the beginning. I split on when Link holds the bottle up above his head when you get the bottle. I split when your jump slash connects with Goma to kill her, or your final hit to kill Goma connects. If you don't do Goma clip, that split will be slightly, like certain parts of the run will be on a different side of that split. So if like you go from not using Goma clip to using Goma clip, you're going to like not save as much time on the Goma split, and then you're going to save extra time on the next split because of the way that that evens out. You actually kill Goma slower using Goma clip, but then you don't go back through the Deku Tree, you just go in and out of the door. So, either way, I think killing Goma is like a good place to split. The next place I split is getting Zelda's Lullaby cutscene skip, so like when Link dies is when I split. Weapons upgrade is pulling the Master Sword, so I hit split at the same time as I hit A to pull the Master Sword. So it's really easy because I'm hitting a button on the controller and I'm hitting a button on my spacebar at the same time. This is not looking at my controller at all anymore. Shadow Temple, I split after Shadow Temple. I split when I hit to continue. Splitting when you hit to continue is probably the best place there. You could also split right when Link dies if you want to do that, but I find it really consistent to hit the spacebar at the same time as I hit a button on the controller, because I know that I'm like super consistent with hitting two things at once, right? Because it's just very easy to gauge as opposed to like timing something else. So I like to do splits like that sometimes. So I split when I like hit yes, I want to continue, because you hit yes to save, yes to continue. So I split when I say yes, I want to continue. I'll fail this as Bolero skip. So again, I split when Link dies to skip the Bolero cutscene. That's a pretty easy thing to time, and you don't need to do anything other than like sit there holding trigger with the hitting shield. So I just time that and split. Route to Fugitive is when you hit the loading zone after gate skip, so the loading zone to get you into the wasteland. Again, I just like have a cue where Link walks over something on the ground, and that's where I split. My next split after that is after the Spirit Temple. I time that exactly like I do for Shadow Temple, where I hit spacebar at the same time as I hit yes to continue with my right thumb. A lot of people will split on the white flashes when they beat dungeons, or sometimes then walking into a blue warp. I don't like to split on the white flashes because the white flash is the same time as you get control over Link again, or like pretty close to when you get control over Link again. So after the Shadow Temple, for instance, you want to, as soon as you get control of Link, you want to be walking backwards, and you want to like hit A to roll backwards so that you can be fast. So if I was to split there, I'd want to be like split and then have another hand on the controller and then be like hitting A. So it would interfere with playing the game. So I like to split on the text. My next split is beating Fire Temple, and that's exactly the same. I split on hitting yes to continue. My next split is Forest Temple, which same thing, I split on saying yes to continue. After that is the Water Temple. Since you watch the Water Temple cutscene, I don't split on the blue warp. I split when he holds the fire arrows up above his head, because it's really easy to time that. So I don't split until I get the fire arrows, obviously. A lot of people will split when you walk into the blue warp, but I think it's like kind of weird to have getting the fire arrows on the trials split, because it's like you get the fire arrows and then you watch Lax and then you get into the Ganon's castle and then you do all the trials. And like, I don't know. It seems I just put it on the water split because it's easier. So I split when he holds the fire arrows up above his head. The final split, not final, the next split is Trials, and I split when I walk into the loading zone in the middle of the Trials. Like, when you take the barrier down, the loading zone through that barrier, I split when I go through there, because, again, I like time it with the texture on the ground that Link walks over. Actually, like, the teeth that are on that little doorway, when he walks over those teeth is when I split. Again, some people will split when you shoot the gooey thing, whatever it is, with the light arrow in Spirit Temple, Spirit Trial. That works too. It's just a matter of preference. I just got in the habit of splitting when I walk over something because it's like easy to time for me. And then the final split is just at the end of the game. So when you hit B to do the final input to kill Ganon. And those are my splits. In this section right here, between Shadow Temple and then Dodongo's Cavern, Wasteland, and Spirit Temple, I use Bolero, Wasteland, and Spirit Temple splits. A lot of people will use getting Magic, DC Wrong Warp, and Mirror Shield instead. And those are kind of equivalent. Magic is obviously a little bit faster than DC Wrong Warp, and then, a little bit faster than Bolero Skip, and then DC Wrong Warp is a little bit before Wasteland, and then you throw in the Mirror Shield to kind of split up that big Wasteland plus Spirit Temple time. So I kind of feel like that's a really big segment to put together, and then I feel like beating Shadow Temple to getting Magic is like also not that. I feel like putting Bolero on there is not that big a deal, so I use this set of splits as opposed to using Magic and DC Wrong Warp and Mirror Shield. But I also don't have a ton of splits. A lot of people will split in extra places too. Like, some people will split on Ganondorf. I don't split on Ganondorf. Just because I just don't feel like there needs to be extra splits. There's a bunch of places where, like, I don't split on Jabu Jabu because I feel like after Jabu Jabu, all you do is backwalk across Hyrule Field and get through the marketplace and do dot skip, which after you practice dot skip, it's pretty consistent. You can do it the same amount of time every time. So, like, between beating Jabu and pulling the Master Sword, there's like very few things that vary compared to some other splits, like the Shadow Temple or Mirror Temple, Spirit Temple, or Trials or something, you know. So since that split is like very invariable in comparison, I just decide I don't want to Jabu split at all. Some people put Boomerang in there also. Some people split on Hookshot. Some people split just a few extra places in the middle. Maybe like getting the bow or something. But this is what I like to use. I don't prefer to have a ton of splits. Um, so yeah, that's about it. For me, really big like milestones for splits were like getting like a sub 20 escape is really good. Getting a sub 10 bottle is really good. As you can see, the beginning of my PB is like quite fast. I'm very happy with the beginning of my PB. Um, getting to the Master Sword in like when I first started, pulling the Master Sword in under 40 minutes was like a good time for me to get. Like sub 40 Master Sword was good. And then as you get better and better, you just, sub 39, sub 38. Now I feel like I should be able to do sub 35 every time, and sub 34 is kind of like my goal for the Master Sword. But sub 40 was like my original goal for Master Sword. So that's like a good starting place. When I started to like beating Shadow Temple in under an hour was like a goal for me at first. Now I actually look at Bolero and say I want to get the Bolero fire in less than 1 hour, and if I can do that, then I feel good about my run so far. Same kind of stuff as you go through the run. So I think it's probably a good habit to get into, to like do a run and then look at your splits and say like which of these splits are close to like a time that I could like aim for, Like the first time that I probably got to Master Sword was like 42 or something, and so I was like, all right, I wanna get to Master Sword in less than 40 minutes, and that's just a goal that I have. Who cares what the rest of the run is? That's like a goal for me, is to get there, and that kind of thing, Getting to Zelda for Zelda's Lullaby in under 20 minutes was a goal at first, and then under 19 minutes is a goal, then under 18 minutes is a goal, So set goals like that, and I think that's a good. It's a good habit to get into, because then even if the rest of your run goes badly, then at least like you know that like this specific part of my run went well because I like had this goal that I wanted to get to. So that's probably a good habit to get into. Other than that, I don't really worry about splits too much though. Like getting gold splits and like Summon Best and that kind of stuff, I wouldn't worry about that so much, because it's more important to be consistent than to have like a good Summon Best. A good Summon Best just means that like I happen to have done certain splits well at some point in my speedrunning life. It means nothing about being actually consistent and actually being able to pull a run through, So don't worry about Summon Best too much. Just get consistent. Definitely, I would recommend using a live split, because live split lets you really customize what information you look at. Like the previous segment and previous time save. Previous segment just means how much time did I lose or save in my last segment. Possible time save is what your gold split saved over your current PV split. So like the best that you've ever completed this section of the run was like 20 seconds faster than your PB, so you know that like you personally have saved 20 seconds here before, and it's possible. So that's like a good measure to look at, so that you can see like what's in the realm of possibility for me to expect here. Stuff like that. Yeah, I'll highlight this soon. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm kind of reading through the chat to see if anyone has any other questions, but it looks like not too many. So I guess that's it for now. I think I might do some runs in a little bit, or maybe right now. Maybe I'll do a run right now, because I got nothing better to do. Actually, I might eat dinner first, and then do runs a little bit. Where'd my phone go? That's an important thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna eat dinner real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and do some runs. So, thanks for watching, guys. Any other questions, ask them now, or ask them later, or send me a PM, or um, stop by the chat sometime if you're watching this on a highlight or on YouTube. Stop by my stream sometime, and I'll be happy to help you out with anything pertaining to MST. If not, see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I will be back.